Basically, I'm not a good presenter. Always for that. Myself, Srini Vas. I work for Google, ex-Google. Now I'm working for a startup called Airpod. It's a part of Agricom. I've been an early engineer for the past 2 years. We are building drones for, especially for focusing on agricultural problems, spraying pesticides, monitoring crop data, and much more. If you have any queries, please feel free to interrupt me. One, the guys at the last, do you hear me? Fine? Yeah, let's make this session interactive. Hello everyone.
Hello.
Yeah, fine, good, awesome. So let's not talk much about drones. So I got a drone here. So let's fly after crunching a couple of slides. Okay. So this will don't make you feel sleepy, I think. Done. So let's fly drone, okay? Later, not now. So the topics that I'm gonna cover in this presentation is like a couple of points that I mentioned. First, let's see the basics. Everyone knows drone, right? How many of you own drones here? How many of you fly drones here? Please raise your hand. Please feel free. Yes.
You have one for office?
Yeah. Awesome. The nano drone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fine. How many of you like? Do you have any crash experience? That?
Only crashes.
Awesome. We are on the same page. Fine. The second thing is like IYWOLDI. It's a code. Let's crack it later. And the thing that I'm gonna cover in this presentation is like some of the potential applications other than aerial photography and hobby flying. You guys have to know how the drones could change our lives, and it's better for the future. And a couple of rules and safety measures are here in India, especially in Chennai, and we're gonna go through it. And some future focused UAV companies and couple of drone some couple of drone guys who are working on their drones, focusing on solving upcoming future problems that we're gonna see. And last is the surprise. It's not the flying thing. Okay, let's start. So UAVs, drones, helicopters. Most of us like if you hear once you hear a name like drones, oh okay, it's a predator. Most of us think of the predator. Oh, it holds missile, it kills people. Fine, it's not. The thing is ranges from small micro quarter beat. This thing is called quarter beat. It's the world's smallest spying drone. It's used for spying, especially. You guys also seen the movie Kamal Hassan's movie Vishwarupam, right? Please be interactive, guys. Please.
Yes.
Yeah, better for me. I don't like hearing my own voice again and again. It's like it's reflecting right from the mic. That's why I feel nervous. So these two are used for spying. This can be used by NSA or CIA or US Army. And the one here, it's our guy, the Predator, used for killing, firing missiles. And this quarter B, its range, like according to the sizes of the drone, the range, the work done, and couple of limitations are there. For example, this quarter B can fly up to 4 or 5 floors, but the Predator can fly up to 10,000 miles. You can sit in an US and you can control it in Afghanistan. And there is a small story behind Predator. The Israeli guys recently hacked the Predator using by hacking its GPS coordinates so that they make the Predator to land on their own space and they modified it according to their use, and they repainted the Predator. They again uh, they fly against the US Army. Sometimes crazy things happen, and yeah, multicopters. Coming to multicopters, yeah, here is an example of a multicopter. It's a quadcopter. Contains four motors and battery, flight controller, electronic speed controller (ESCs), which controls the speeds of the motor, and according to the use, according to your requirement, you can build a drone which can lift a human also. Recently, a guy made a Guinness record in lifting himself and flying for like 2 football grounds distance, like tying that drone on his leg, and he made a flight right over a river. Hope you people came across that video, right? That guy spends hardly 6 years for that. It looks cool, but it's not an easy task to lift off a drone from the ground. So this is the survival guide and the universal drone coverage. And this, can you people spot where this drone is, like in the map? Can you? Come on. Let me give you a hint. The Predator comes here. Yeah, it's here. The Predator thing is here. The bigger Predator. And where is the helicopter? How many of you know Parrot AR drone? Yeah, good. It's there in the map. It's right here. The dot. It's dot. Yeah. And comparing to the universe of drones, ours are like a small pixel in that universe. Right? So these are all the different types of drones that are used, and 90% of the drones right now are used for defense and navy, naval research, and many more. But most of them are used for dropping bombs. That's the bad news. Fine. At least let's build a drone for good. And I want to share you an event that every year in Dubai they are conducting a competition called Drones for Good. If you guys have good skills in building drones, you can submit an entry, and like the entry will be like a 3-minute video explaining your problem and defining, like providing a solution with your help. What you are solving with the help of drone. If you are lucky enough, you can easily get $1 million from them. It's an open international competition, happens every year. Sorry? Drones for Good. So this is the code behind that. If you want one, let's do it. It's the IYWOLDI. These are a couple of DIY forums and open source websites that you can go. According to this four, when comparing this four, DIY drones is one of the topmost resource provider for drones, from the size of the nanoflight to the bigger size of 6x6 or a dodecacopter. The dodecacopter is the 12 motor thing. Such much bigger, and its space will be like 6x6 or 8x8. So DIY drones is one of the biggest community in the world for especially focusing on they have many classified topics, and the solution given by experts who are all working in 3DR. It's a company assigned with DIY drones. Now 3DR is focusing on providing better aerial photography solutions. How many of you know about DJI? DJI Phantom, the white thing. Many people have seen it, right? It's DJI. It's the world's first billion-dollar drone company, and they are not focusing on solving any problems. They are focusing on taking good aerial photographs, which can carry a GoPro and fly for 15 to 20 minutes max, according to the windy conditions. If it's much windy, your drone will sway off. So they also provide some good amount of hexacopters, which is 6 which consists of 6 motors and couple of things that can lift DSLR, and it's mainly used for shooting movies, and the octocopter is like 8 arm motor with it can carry a red epic camera, and these are all the things which flies for just 15 minutes, not much more, because of that much weight. And one of the major issues that I came across, and we are constantly cracking that problem the past 2 years, is the battery problem. Battery is the one which is limiting us, and it shortens the flight time. If you are drone carrying much payload, it you need much more battery juice to carry that weight, or else it's not a land based thing, so that it will travel like a Tesla car for 300 miles. Even we had a discussion with Tesla, the CIO of Tesla, but they are using a battery with a combination of gas and a battery. So there comes the problem. If you are using any form of gas thing in your drone, if it fell down from 100 feet, some weakness will happen. So we dropped that plan, and we are still scratching the surface for the possibilities. And for now, I just bought a drone which it will fly. It doesn't have GPS. It will just fly, just for a demo. And we are building drones for agriculture, and it should carry like 10 to 15 liters of pesticide, and much more onboard computing will be there, will be done on the flight itself, and it will simultaneously monitor the crop health, the leaf span, the leaf index. We'll be using machine learning, deep learning. We are still struggling with that. And yeah, fine. The next thing is like the flying machine arena. This is the internal community run by ETH Zurich. These guys are the world's most advanced quadcopter researchers. The quadcopters, not more than that. They are restricted the design to a quad, and they are completely focusing on solving a big problem on quad itself. And they have done a couple of good amount of research. Which how many of you seen Professor Vijay Kumar's TED video that he will be flying a drone? Good, yeah, awesome. Like he'll be flying the drone. He's from University of Pennsylvania, and ETH and Pennsylvania are constantly fighting to get into research and get good amount of funds. This flying machine arena had a tie-up with 3DR, and they supplied the flight controller, their own in-house flight controller, the PX4D flight controller algorithm to 3DR, and that makes 3DR the world's much more smarter drone compared to DJI. There are a couple of good amount of players in this space already, and they are building drones for only hobby purpose. And in India, like 12 to 13 startups are there. They are building drones for a good cause, and many of the startups are focusing on security surveillance, border surveillance, and they get tied up with the local police for inspection purpose. Even with Anna University, they have their own drone space. They are tied up with MIT, and they build a drone called Daksha. Their drone name is Daksha, which solved the problem that happened in Saringanallu, the Theseus girl murder case. That drone helped a lot for them to identify the lady's body. Yeah, fine. Drones playing good role in nowadays, and the drone code is the open source code base like GitHub, where you can push and pull codes from the drone code. And 4 to 5 companies right now are the platinum sponsors for this drone code, which is purely open source, and it's run by Linux community. So if you want to build a smart drone, you can follow up with this drone code. This gives you a big opportunity to build your dream drone. And every year Intel also conducts a wearable challenge, right? It started like 2 years before. Last year's first winner, the topmost winner, has built a drone which is a Kickstarter project now. He built a wearable drone, which he can throw it like that. It will fly and will open up the camera and take a selfie of it. It's called a selfie drone. I forget the name. Sorry. So soon the drones will become a sixth finger of human. I hope so. Okay. Now the potential apps of drones, potential applications for drones, like it's not for it. It meant for aerial photography, but it's not only restricted to that domain. That's what I feel. But yeah, drones are not meant for dropping bombs. Even you can drop chocolates on people. People have done that. SRM guys. Any SRM guys over here? Awesome. Yeah, there is a SRM University having their own copter research foundation. I used to visit SRM a lot, and they had made like flower dropping drones. If they have any very special VIP or VVIP coming along, they'll take the drone. There is a box inside it. It will be controlled by a servo. So they will put flowers on it, and they'll make it fly over like 100 feet, and they'll drop flowers on it. That's how they receive their kids. Guests. Fine. Even you can drop chocolate like in an auditorium. There is an university that Wales University, I think. They tried dropping chocolates in an auditorium. And yeah, you can also drop life vest. If especially in Navy, they are now using it. Indian Navy using Indian Navy teamed up with anonymous guys, Daksha, and they are dropping life vest. They are in testing doing that, like dropping the life vest for people. If you get stuck in the middle of sea or if your ship sinks, the drone will rush up fast. At least sometime it can literally save much more lives than the Navy guys can on the time. It saves a lot of time for you. It's very aggressive. And if you are planning to build a drone, in upcoming slides you can see that like I'll show you a couple of frame designs and how to get in this domain, and let's get started. And one more announcement I would like to have now. Like I'm planning to start a community for drones in Chennai, and I'm making the announcement just now because I had a plan. Just had came across that thought. I already running a community called Chennai Raspians. It's related to Raspberry Pi queries. If you have Raspberry Pi or if you want to learn more about Raspberry Pi, you can follow it on Facebook page Chennai Raspians. So simultaneously, I'll be like planning to start this drone community in Chennai. So once I have done, so let's discuss after some time after this talk. So drones that also build rope bridges. How many of you seen that video? Good. Awesome. Yeah, that research is done by ETH Zurich guy. That flying mission arena belongs to that ETH Zurich. These guys done a good amount of research, and these drones are controlled by motion capturing camera, and inside an auditorium it's possible, but I don't know how well it works in the outside environment. Even if, for example, if you take an Uttarakhand incident, several bridges are get broken, right? Because of that, people get stuck in many parts of the mountain, on top of the mountain, and they can't cross the rivers and floods. On that time, these drones will be a very good lifesaver of building instant bridges, and they can cross over. I'm having that video. It's like some of them are already seen it, but I'm having that. I'll be showing it in a couple of minutes. And drones, yes, they are big agri players. This is what we are seeing for now. And you can also, there's some couple of potential applications like you can monitor how now people are monitoring the oil pipes, are like if there is any leakage happen, like every day there is a routine time, they will be following routine time. These oil pipelines were gone through like several hundred miles over the desert and underground. And if over the desert, it's very hard for the guys to take a safari ride and constantly monitoring the oil pipe. With the help of drones, it will be much more simpler. And these drones, if you just add a camera and just run a small OpenCV program that will differentiate the color variation happening in the desert. You know, like if you pour a water in a desert, the color will change, right? The sun, color of the sun. With the help, you can do it. It's a small application. You can build, but it's a big business. So these are also, like as I said, good lifesavers. The drone. You people have also seen that video, like a guy get cardiac arrest and like suddenly an aggressive drone will come with a defibrillator and
First aid.
yeah, that's it. That drone won last year's Drones for Good award for $1 million. And MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, that guys also won 1 million USDs for crash-proof drone. They have built a crash-proof drone. Like around the drone, they have made a big mesh so that it will bounce back. It won't get crashed, and it's very useful for finding people in a disaster or in an earthquake, so that you can send the drone in and it will roll like the ball, so it won't get crashed, and it will see, it will look for people and heat signatures over there, and it will report it constantly. That can be done. That's a good project. That's an awesome project. Yeah. Now rules and safety measures, and this is restricted for India. TGCF ban. TGCF banned the drones last year October, August. In between August and October, they announced it. So what? You can't. If you have a drone, do not fly it in public places without proper permissions, because there are like for the past 3 months I'll be constantly hearing news like this guy landed a drone over a top of hotel top roof, and this guy crashed a drone somewhere else, and without prior piloting experience you should not touch a drone. And what you do, like just buy a small drone, start learning, start piloting. It's a real time. It's like a same as a real time video game. Better. What I suggest is like you can get a simulation software, and it costs like 5,000 to 6,000 rupees, the original version. And couple of Indian good RC shops are also selling like the China version of simulators that you can directly plug and you can control it with the joystick, so that you can learn in the simulator itself. So you once you get familiar with that sensitivity thing, then you can play around with a small copter, and then you can jump hop for a big copter and a fixed wing and everything else. And one more news is like we used to go to Solavaram Old Airport, and we used to fly every weekend. We used to fly drones over there for fun, and many people like uh, I have seen a couple brothers like they are flying fixed wing crafts for the past 45 years, and they have won many championships across the globe. I wonder, and but they have their own culture of flying things that restricted to their engines. Like they are not depending upon the electrical things. They came from the background of engine flight aircraft, small engine, 45cc, 50cc engine that runs that aircraft, and that aircraft completely made of balsa wood. It's a lightweight wood that's mainly used for making RC aircrafts. And nowadays, material sciences and everything had improved. So you can go with carbon fiber. It's a high-end thing, cost much more than a normal fiber over here. This is fiber, plastic fiber. And if you are going with carbon fiber, please make sure that you are not cutting or drilling it or grinding it without wearing mask and everything, because it's very harmful for health. The powder emitted from the carbon fiber is not good for health. It causes cancer and instant cancer. So better make sure that your dimensions are good, and order it according to your dimensions, so that that guy's headache is like they will cut it and get delivered for you. As my previous guy who talked over here, sorry I forgot your name, that guy tell like AliExpress is one of the good vendor so that you can import, but don't import now. You have to fight with customs like anything. We came across that issue. We ordered a couple of motors, because that amount of motors are not available in India. That like we need much more thrust. The thrust is a thing like that lifts the drone with the weight or without weight. Okay, we arrived at a calculation with the weight, and we need some configuration of motors that has to that combination of motors will work like lifting the heavyweight thing. So what we planned is like we ordered as much as parts from India that are all available, but the costs are very high. For example, if you take a flight controller from 3DR, it costs like 50,000 in India, and the actual price is $199. The, these guys are charging like twice or thrice than the price, but and there comes the issue because nowadays this ban created a big hype in UAV space, and many of us like yeah, even myself and my colleague Krishna over there, we spent one whole day sitting in a city commissioner office, and explaining the entire story about our drone and what are we are going to do. And they asked us like 16 angle photography. I don't know what they are gonna do with that 16 angle photography of our drone and what it does. We made a complete pamphlet of everything as they told. We get a template, sample template from them, and finally we submitted the report. Then only they gave an acknowledgement form that we should not fly drones inside the city. Outside the city, we are allowing it. Once we got that permission, we are safe. So even though you have a small drone like this, or not a small nano one or crazy fly, you can fly it inside, but outside it's up to you. But not this thing. If you are planning to do this, or a couple of like 1x1 or 2x2, you have to get permission with attested photographs, and your complete biodata has to be submitted in Chennai Security Police. That's called CSP. It's a branch specially open for drones in Commissioner Office. Many of us don't know. Many of the flyers don't know that they have opened some branch over there. In near future, they are planning to open. Recently, like they listed out the entire rules. They banned it priorly, and they listed out the rules recently. Now India is just getting copied a couple of rules, and it's changing them and modifying the payload rate, the size, form factor, and everything. Hopefully they are publishing it by upcoming March or June. It'll be a big relief for startup guys like us to fly drones, test drones. Because if we are like flying a drone, building a drone is like big hectic job because you don't know what went wrong. You have to fly it, and then once you fly, then only you have to know what are the tunings to be done. You have to constantly fly and tune, fly and tune, fly and tune. This has to be done for an enterprise level drones. If you are hobby flyer, you know, okay, this is a problem I can manage, I can fly. But for enterprise level guys, it's a big thing for us. And these guys gave permission, you should not fly inside the city. So once we tune, we take the drone, we dismantle it, we put it in the car dicky, we go out of somewhere out of Solinagar, and we look for a good land where there is no roads nearby and it's an open space, and then we reassemble it. It takes 1 hour, and then we fly it. The flight time is just 15 minutes. In that 15 minutes, you have to like notice what are all the problems happening, what sound is coming from where. You have to sort the entire thing on the 15 minutes, and we used to call it a golden time for that. And this is what happening in our space. This is a big headache for us.
Why?
And yeah,
Why only 15 minutes?
yeah, the battery space is like that
So
because that amount of payload we are lifting off. We are lifting off 10 liters of water for now.
Yeah, but you can swap the battery.
Yeah, we have a couple of batteries. The main headache is importing batteries. We are importing 16 amps to 22,000 mAh batteries, and it's a 12s battery, 12s lipo. It looks like a brick, okay, and yeah, exactly, it's a bomb. If the battery gets punctured, it's a lipo. Instantly it will get fired and it will explode like anything. And generally, these batteries are not like shipped via. They used to ship it, but not via air. There comes a problem. And recently a guy discovered a bag called lipo bag. So if you place the battery inside that bag, if it get explode, it won't be a big disaster. Everything gets solved within the bag itself. That's a good thing for us to handle batteries. The major problem is like if you can get smaller amount of batteries, and what happens is like these batteries will increase the weight. I can buy 10,000 mAh batteries and put it in a serial or parallel, but every gram is a matter for us.
So since the battery itself is dangerous, why don't you go with like a engine?
Engine, yeah. When it comes to engine, yeah, we also tried it. When it comes to engine, you come under the category of motor vehicle act. And what happens if your gasoline tank will get burst? We are running for an agriculture thing. For example, consider this scenario. If we are running a gasoline drone that flies over the sugarcane thing, if it gets falls in the mid of sugarcane land, the entire sugarcane land will. I'm talking about during summer. Whether it's in the rainy, it depends upon the weather, but the disaster will be bigger. But for this, we can,
But the battery also could do that unless you put it in a
yeah,
lipo bag.
yeah, we can. The design factors matters. We can place the battery in a special fireproof container, and the lid only comes out from that. So it won't be a problem for you. Every what happen, all you have to do is to protect the battery, like from getting punctured. That there comes the problem.
So you protect the tank.
Yeah, you can protect the tank, but engine is not. Our focus is like for agriculture. We plan to go green, no smoky thing. There are some classifications for us. We come under that classification. We have some. We tried things like running engines, running with this thing. Even in solar, we planned it, but solar doesn't work. Lifting big amount of weights and flying all over the time. So there are a couple of good batteries called lithium ion batteries. Lithium ion batteries are there. That battery is the combination of lithium and air. Air in the sense like nitrogen or pure form of oxygen like that. That batteries are much safer than lipo batteries. The according to the battery scale, the lipo batteries are highly inflammable. It comes first, but one of the advantage of using lipo batteries for copters is like that their discharge rate is high. For example, if you have a 16 amps battery, you can jumpstart a 5000 cc vehicle. And 5000 cc vehicle in the sense 5 ton AC. You can start a 5 ton AC instantly with the help of that amount of power that can deliver it instantly. That's an advantage of lipos, using lipos. Because we need a good amount of battery just to lift the payload. When it comes to payload, you have to focus on battery only, not about the configuration. But placing these batteries and if you add much more battery, this battery itself, the 16 amp battery itself weighs around 2.5 kgs. Just like that, it swallows 2.5 kgs of our payload. So it almost equivalent to a brick. So there comes the problem, and you can get permission from commissioner office once if you are planning to build a drone, and do not fly near airports, air bases, or prohibited areas, especially in defense areas. And how many of you from nearby Tamram circle or Pallavaram circle? You guys have to like get out of the city and then only you have to fly. Recently, one of my friends he just took off his DJ Bantam and he get caught, and big messier thing happened to him. Like he fly the drone nearby that army base, and there comes the problem. So don't put yourself in trouble. And the most important thing is the prior piloting experience is must. As I said, you can start with simulators if you have any idea to start up with drone. You can start up with simulators and then a smaller drone, and then bigger according to you. The ready-made drones are good for flying, and it's not advisable if you are planning to build. If you are focusing like I want to build a drone for myself, do not buy a ready-made one. Start learning from the DIY forums. Like I said, DIY drones is one of the awesome guide to start. Like even you can post if you have post any questions, you will get at least 10 to 15 answers in the next 1 hour. All these answers are from experts, the guys who are working on DIY drones forum as well as the 3D robotics. So they can help you out.
So,
Yeah.
how much of these components are actually made in India?
The flight controller is built from scratch by our company. Uh, the motors, the props, these are all imported from China.
So, except for the flight controller,
Yep.
everything is
Yes.
everything
Yes,
is
most of the drone parts you have to import it. Or now many RC companies like RC service providers, in the sense shops, they are providing help. They are providing a kit for you so that you can buy that kit, you can build your drone and you can fly.
no, but is the government supporting some make in India?
There is no
They-
make in India thing here. Like most of the things are from China itself. Like, when it comes to drone, China is a big player on providing supplies, big supply chain it has, so that it can supply good amount of drone parts to you. And
But even the flight controller, the hardware you're not making. It's when you say flight controller, you're talking about the software,
no, it's a hardware and it's a combination of hardware and the software.
right?
The flight controller.
But which part of the hardware are you making?
Yeah, we built it the entire thing. This entire thing.
That
This is
board-
the flight controller. Yeah, we printed the PCB. We came across like several 12 iterations of this thing.
Is
And
that
finally we got
is
it.
that cost competitive when compared to what you can import?
Yeah, yes. We are like uh, on comparing to this, we can you can buy this for 2,000 bucks. The normal DJ flight controller cost for you like minimum 10,000 rupees. It's just the flight controller, not the receiver. We can give you like for 3,000 rupees. We can give you the entire flight controller with the receiver. This is the receiver module, and this is the transmission module. So it will get communicated. So you can, even if you have any plans of building a flight controller, you can get start from DIY forum itself. There are several amount of open source flight controllers available. Flight controllers that I mean is like the combination of hardware, from hardware to software, and you can flash it. You can do whatever modifications you want. Like if you once you trigger a switch, your drone will take off and hold its position. You can make it. You can do variety of applications with that. As I said, like the Intel guy, the guy who won the Intel Wearable Challenge, he just built a flight control with the help of Edison. Nothing more than that. Edison, a combination of 4 motors and propellers, and it's very flexible so that he can throw it and it will fly and it will detect your face and take a photo. So it's called a selfie drone, and that guy had built much more code. He flushed like more code inside it from existing open source flight controller applications and firmware itself. Quadrocopter is one of the world famous firmware. Like it's a combination of autopilot now. It is called as autopilot now, and quadrocopter is the base parent for every flight controller. Like world's 90% of open source flight controllers works on that platform. Above that platform, how Linux and Unix came like 10 or 15 years before, and now it like we are using Ubuntu, we are using elementary OS like that. On top of it, on top of Unix and Linux platforms, even on top of Ubuntu platforms, many people are building their own customized OS. Right? You can even build that thing with the help of quadrocopter and autopilot. The same example then. So next is the future of UAVs. Yeah, in future, in the like future is not near for drones. Yeah, in the next 5 or 10 years, your drone will go to supermarket, buy you vegetables or anything, and it will also might pay your bill and come back to your home, or you can sit and pay your bills. It's not matter. Like it can go to market and it will buy whatever you want and it will carry everything and it will come back. That's what I'm looking. At the same time, on the other side, these drones will also like helpful in disaster areas. Like for example, if you when a disaster happened over a particular area, there will be no cell phone service or Wi-Fi service anything. Like if you get stuck with a particular room or what, If you have, at least you have a cell phone network, it will be an awesome thing so that you can call up and ask for help, right? These drones can also be used. Yes. Yeah. Sorry, I think you raised your hand. Okay. These drones are like will be a mobile, like for temporary mobile service providers that you can build, and you can send across a disaster recovery area so that you can use these drones. Like the applications are plenty of applications are there. You can use it for find and rescue. And one startup is doing in India itself. In Bangalore, there is a drone startup called Skylab drones. They are doing it. Like if you have it in the website itself, they have stated like if you have any disaster around you, you can call us so that we will come with our drone and we will help you in finding search and rescue mission like that. So yes, super smart drones are lined up for the future. Yeah, it's a big tech race again. Like what I'm saying is like if you nowadays we are holding a cell phone, right? Like in the future everybody will be carrying in a small or a big, the form factor doesn't matter, but you will be carrying a drone along in your handbag or along with you. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. And with the help of deep learning and machine learning, machine learning, you can easily train up your drone for particular application. Like if someone, for example, just an example, if someone ringing your doorbell, like you want to go and watch it, or someone coming down, or someone entering your house in unauthorized way, so that you can throw your drone, go and watch it for me, so that it will go and watch and then it will come back. At the same time, it will stream the video from there. This is what happened. Yeah, and one more thing, the team Taksha is working like they solved a problem in a border security problem. Like if the enemy army is firing a bullet or they are firing, some sort of sound is emitted, right? So these drones are very good at listening sound and from where and from which particular geographical area it comes. So it will grab a photo of that and will instantly transmit to our army side so that they will get focused on particular area instead of firing somewhere else blindly. These are all the applications that they are using in border security thing. Fine. And this video shows how a drone autonomously avoiding obstacles and traveling at 30 miles per hour. Yeah. So as you can see, this is the autonomous one. This is piloted by a pilot. It's still autonomous. This is how it is avoiding the obstacles. Here how it works. This drone. This is the entire shape of the drone, and it contains two stereo cameras that acts as an eye for the drone, and they are using two separated motherboard, like a netbook motherboard for that. They hacked it and they are using it for running in that OpenCV application. It's an Intel Atom processor. It contains this motherboard contains Intel Atom processor, and they are doing it again. This is how it avoids the obstacle. And this is not like trained priorly, like it's this happening right on that instance, on that time. This is avoiding the obstacles in real time, not pre-trained machines. These are not pre-trained machines. Many of the research, like in the quadcopters or in drone space, has done like they are constantly training their drone to navigate pathfinding and other applications. But these guys, this is done by like by MIT, and it's supported by 3DR.
Did you download their code and try it?
Yeah, it's there, but I have facing some bugs in their code. I reported them and waiting for the reply.
Yeah.
It's
Because
there in GitHub.
because
So
because to me the video isn't that impressive
yes,
because it's flying mostly in open space and it just makes a tangent towards some of those trees.
yeah, that also matters a lot in a drone because you can't fly a drone like that, right?
It's only like they're computing 10 meters ahead.
Yeah,
And if you have they have a quad CPU, so they're computing 10 meters ahead, and it just does a tangent even in their so-called impressive video.
it's actually this thing came from a research paper they have done in drones. Like it's called knife edge obstacle avoidance. So the drone goes till the edge, like almost near to the edge, and then it will avoid it. So it's called knife edge detection and avoidance.
Right, but
So they just implemented it what they have done. So
right, but I mean, to me, it's they put a quad core processor and they are computing it 10 meters ahead.
yeah.
That's essentially what's
But what's special in this video is like they are doing this in real time.
well, yeah, well, you have
Yeah.
to do it in real time. I mean, the what
The real time computation, onboard computation in a drone is it's a good thing. It's a good start. That's what I feel. In a near, like many of them, like how many of you know Intel RealSense cameras, the stereo camera? Yeah. Last year Intel in the Intel meet, like they have made a like a plate of camera. They arrange the cameras in a hexagon thing, and they put it on top of drone, and the drone itself automatically navigates and dodges every trees in a forest,
yeah.
and it will get through. But they are still struggling with the processing, the amount of processing. It's 5 or 6 cameras, like constantly getting pouring of data.
That was very impressive.
Yeah,
Although it was at a lower speed, not
yes,
30 miles per hour. It was, I think 10 miles or so.
yeah.
And is there any special process they implemented to speed up their droning?
Sorry,
It is,
little bit louder, please.
is there any special process they implemented to speed up their droning?
Yeah, yes, you can like it's like a trial and error method. You want like your drone to be very aggressive, then there is a separate combination of motors, propellers, ESCs are there. The pulse matters. That's it. So the next thing is the rope bridge. As you can see, these drones, like I'm fast forwarding it because I'm running out of time. It will tie up automatically. It will building a structure like bridge. And then people will cross. Yeah, this is how they cross the bridge. They have done this with the help of motion detection cameras, and it's just they just simulated it in an indoor scenario, but not for outdoors. You can see the cameras over here, 2 cameras over here, 2 cameras over here, and other 2 on the other side. Fine. It's time to take off. So let's try this thing. I'm not a good pilot, so that's why I'm maintaining some distance over here. So taking it out. Yeah. Like this process is called arming the copper. Like I'm applying throttle now.
I think people can come in the front.
Yeah, it's much better.
చెప్పు నా బయట ఉందా బయట ఉందా బయట ఉందా అవును
Yeah. It's called arming. I'm arming it. I'm applying throttle now. You can feel it. Much more. Drones used to cause much more technical difficulties. It's just a lipo checker so that it will get beep. You don't know how battery juice remains in your battery, right? For that identification, I just added the lipo checker so that it will beep once the battery is low. So, yeah. Flying very low because of the ceiling thing. Wow. Yeah, that's it. I think the battery is very low because it's not lifting off properly. Fine. That's not a bad flight, I think. Fine, that's it. Thanks for the opportunity. Thanks for me. Sorry?
Surprise.
Last item on your agenda.
Yeah.
Surprise.
There is no surprise.
The surprise I just navigated fastly because like I prepared a big slide, big presentation. So yes, it's just the beginning. That's it. No. So I love this picture because in future we can see this drones everywhere. It started, and yeah, it's the past basics. And these are the frame facts. Design of frames. That's a quad in plus configuration. This is X configuration. This is a hexa in hex and plus. And these are all the frames that you can build. Be clear about your frame design. And these are the layouts. The connection diagram goes. And these are built that this drone is under research, so we are not allowed to take it from our startup. So I'm just sharing a couple of photos how it has been built from an aluminum rod. And we use aluminum rods, and then there comes the smaller thing. And this is our final it's the main version of our drone that's used for pesticides in agricultural lands, and it's called airport here. So any questions, please? Yeah.
You said you can use the stimulator.
Yes.
Is there any familiar stimulator?
If like simulator, it costs much more, but you can buy cheap simulators in an RC website. For example, rcmumbai.in, where you can go through. Like you can get for a simulator for just 300 or 400 rupees. And that simulator itself costs like in the original version. It's same as the OS, like Windows OS. You can buy an original OS for 13,000 bucks. At the same time, you can download it from the internet. If you are lucky, you can download it from internet, but I don't think there is no flight controllers available. Like simulators not available in torrents or anything. You can buy it for 300 rupees. There comes an USB thing with a 3.5 mm audio jack on the other side, so that you can plug it in your transmitter and you can start working on it. Any questions? Yeah.
See, apart from buying from Chinese,
Yeah.
what have you actually done on the drone?
We have built the flight controller from the scratch.
Okay, you just build the controller.
Yeah, we built a controller, and on the other hand, we are working on machine learning and deep learning. We are using NVIDIA Tegra processors for doing onboard computations, crop monitoring, and image processing.
Okay, so you can also like what will you import from Chinese?
Like we import motors. They are very good at motors, and there are like how a mobile phone classified like a local Chinese model mobile phone to an Apple iPhone. At the same time, the same starts. Like you can buy a very good motor that gives a much more longer lifetime than that on comparing to normal motors. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Yeah. Okay. Then,
What is your advice on buying the DIY kits? What we get on eBay or something?
yeah, you can go for like one of the familiar websites, familiar RC store in India is called rcihyderabad.com. Sorry, I'm not branding that store. I'm just telling that guys are like you can buy a kit for 15,000 bucks. It's cheaper, as much better, so that you know how to connect everything because the catalog is awesome. And even like I'm planning to start a community, so you can if you have time, you can hook up with us so that we'll build drone and fly.
One question.
Yes.
So, are you writing code for the firmware or are you writing separate code for the client? If so, what is the language you're using? And if you're using it for an application, it should be autopiloted. So,
Yeah.
if that is the case, then how are you controlling or measuring what is the current acceleration and using gyroscope?
Yes.
And how are you stabling the flight of the copter?
Yes, that's a good question. We are integrating multi language. For example, the base platform is like similar to Arduino. There comes Objective C that takes care of motor RPMs, the IMU, inertial measurement unit. It's a combination of accelerometer, gyroscope, magnetometer, barometer. So these sensors will provide the inputs, right? The base Arduino layer that I used is like on top of quadrocopter code. We are customizing it according to our use. And once we customize it, we are not stopping it right away. We are just mounting that flight controller on our drone, like the smaller drone, because we don't want to mess up with the bigger thing. Bigger thing costs much more because the entire thing is made up of carbon fiber and much more complex materials, and it's costlier too. So once we have done, we will put it up in a small copter and we'll fly it and we'll feel what are the changes to be done. We'll note it instantly and we'll get back to tuning and we'll tune it in code as well as in hardware. There is there is one important thing I want to share with you. Like the combination of hardware and software that you're choosing will make your drone awesome. There comes the recipe, secret recipe, nothing else. And if you are planning to work on drone, like you want to code a drone to do autonomous missions, like as you ask, like how are the autonomous missions has been done? Like many people using single GPS, we are planning to use dual GPS so that if any GPS, one of the GPS gets failed, the other one will help to rescue the drone at least. If you are flying a drone like 2 or 3 miles away, you don't know what's happening, but you have only the FPV, first person view of the drone, the camera that transmits the video. Then at least you can target and locate it, and there are many multiple modes available in the quadrocopter platform. For example, RTX, return to home. Once you trigger that switch, the drone, wherever the drone it is, it comes to that place from where it take off, according to the GPS coordination. So this is how it goes. Like I'm using on Python on top of it for machine learning and other things, for deep learning. And if you want to train your drone, you can use DBN, deep belief networks. I'm using it. So yeah.
This is a non-tech question. You said a startup. How many people working in a startup? What do they do? I mean, how different is this from a software company?
We are not claiming that we are software company. We are a basic drone company. We will mess up with hardware. Sometimes we will mess up with software. And we are a team of 6 people, and two of them are my seniors, like the CEO, co-founder, and the co-founder. They are not from technical background. They are basically from project management. One guy is an awesome project manager for the past 25 years, and the other guy is like from financial expert. So these guys will take our drone to the market, and remaining 4 are working on a drone. Like he is very good at hardware, I'm good at software. I hope so. So there it comes. And we will constantly like it's not a particular hardware focus or software focus, it's a combination of both. We prioritize it as an equal.
It's interesting you mentioned a word that it took 14 iterations.
Yes.
You did that.
Yes.
What do you mean by iteration? What is that?
From starting from crashing the drone.
Okay.
Once you are all done with the flight controller, the drone will get lost. We lost 2 to 3 drones, which will fill in a lake. We lost GoPros that we mounted on board on the drone for getting the FPV. Like we almost for the like we are in the started in like 3 years before. Till now we got 27 crashes. The crashes that I meant is a hard crash. We categorize it as hard and soft. If it's soft, your drone will be safe. Like some of the component is like missing or it get lost or it get crashed. Yeah, motors even. But it's a hard crash. When I mean hard crash, your propellers break off, or your flight controller failure, or even your drone will get lost, or you lost your GoPro. That we are constantly logged at each and everything because we want to know how it goes.
So the question is like, okay, it's a little non-tech question because I think we are getting to a space of IoT and drones.
Yeah.
So it's not like a typical software project we work on, right? Sometimes we work on your project, sometimes we work on customer projects.
Okay.
So when you said 14 iteration, 3 years, so you plan for 3 months? Is it like
The 14 iteration, the 14 iteration thing is not for 3 years.
Yeah.
It happened in the cycle of 6 months.
So which means that an iteration is 2 weeks. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. From the PCB design itself, we suffered a lot because I'm basically from a CS background. Like I love hardware. I'm a hardware enthusiast. So I built a couple of hardware projects and it's there in the market. And the thing that I believed in hardware is like it's not a software. Like you can, if you get an error or bug, you can go back and do iteration. It's done. It's gone. That's what everyone believe, right? That I came down through that curve and then we built it. From the PCB design itself, we suffered because everything is new for me. But for him, once he is in, I got his support. Like he will be guiding me. Like, hey, you can do this. You can go through that, and with the help of combinations, good people with good background. He's from robotics background, so he knows how everything goes in a hardware. So it goes like that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Why agriculture domain?
we are seeing a big business in agriculture. For example,
What
yeah,
is your target demographic? Because generally in India specifically,
yeah.
farmers who own land cannot afford drones.
Yeah, we are not selling drones. What's our plan is like it's a combination. It's like a whole of our drone. If you call us, our service guy will come. He will fly. He will spray pesticide in your land and he'll go. The cost involved in this is 10x cheaper than if you have a manual labor. He is spraying and all day long. He will be covering 8 acres max. If he skip his lunch, he can cover 8 acres, and he won't be constantly doing that thing because of allergy. He is allergic to that, even though he is wearing mask. But machine can do that with the like it's faster, cheaper, and better. Like for an acre, he is charging $400. We will be charging under 200 probably. We are not arrived at the cost thing, but we can do it under 200.
So what is the maximum
Coverage
coverage area?
20 acres per day.
20 acres.
Yes.
That is from a
Per day in the sense, it's not a continuous workout. The drone will also take rest
Yeah.
because of the motor's heat.
That's what I was coming
Yeah,
to
but
ask
there is a
also.
wear and tear principle behind every mechanical thing and electrical thing, right? So that's what, like, for particular time, the drone
Oil
will
has
be
to cool
carrying
down.
bigger amount of weight, so the motors need, it needs the heat will be more. So fine. The other thing is, like, you have to give rest for the machines also, right? Sometimes machines need rest.
So you said about 10 liters you're going to carry. How did you come to that 10 liters?
It's not 10 liter. We are building a family of drones where one comes for animal surveillance thing,
Okay.
and the other comes for aerial dispensing fertilizer, like a medium version of dispensing. And when it comes for big farmers, they will become tired. Like, I'm having 150 acres of land. I want to cover it in a 2 days or 3 days. I don't need this 10 liter. I need much more bigger. There are many inputs we are getting constantly from the farmers, from the big farmers, and yeah, we are also building. We did an estimate for 25 liters, but now we are waiting for the DGC approval so that they will restrict us in some way. If your drone is under this weight, it comes under this category, or if it goes above that weight, it will come under aviation category, and you have to get special permission, licenses, and other things. There comes a problem.
Sir,
So I think we are running short of time. I think both the talks were very interesting and we got carried away. So I just
Yeah, we can carry it. We can carry up.
yeah.
Yeah,
One more
please.
one more